Okay, sorry about that. I'm back to case C, and my Excel, I don't know what I did wrong there, so I just had to recreate it here. But this one is a little trickier. We know our cost of materials. Now, we don't know our direct labor and manufacturing overhead, but we do know our total manufacturing costs. Then it gives us our work in process, and then total cost of work in process, and then we'll subtract out our ending work in process to get what we know our total goods manufactured will be. So what we need to do here is create a formula. Now, we know that direct labor, for every dollar of direct labor, we spend 85 cents in manufacturing overhead. So this, if we call it L for direct labor, this is 0.85 L. A little bit of algebra here, guys. So L is the labor. Our manufacturing overhead is 85% of L, or 0.85 L. And we know our total manufacturing cost of $213,000. We know our direct materials used. So I'm just going to play this out with you here so you can see the formula. So what our total manufacturing costs should be would be direct materials, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead should then equal total manufacturing costs. Now hang in there with me, guys. Direct materials we know, $63,150. We know direct labor, we're just going to say is L. We know manufacturing is 0.85 L. And all that needs to equal $213,000. Okay, now let's think of algebra. You know how you take this 63,150 and you bring it over to the other side of the equation. So if we take and say L plus 0.85 L is going to equal basically going to equal 213 minus 63,150. Again, if we go and take our 1 and then 0.85 L, or L, how about 1.85 L is going to equal the 213 minus the 63,150, or that would be, higher math here, that's what happens when you get lazy. 149,850. Then if we divide both sides, divide it by L, or excuse me, 1.85. So on this and this, we divide both by 1.85. Then L, or our labor cost, are going to equal the 149,850 divided by 1.85, or 149,850 divided by our 1.85, or our 81,000, right? So if our labor is at 81,000, then we know that our manufacturing overhead is going to be 85% of 81,000, or our manufacturing overhead is going to be the 81,000, which is the direct labor, times 85%, or the 68,850. So as we go back up here, we've kind of needed to create this little formula to be able to figure out our direct labor is 81,000 and our manufacturing overhead is 85% of 81,000, or 68,850. Another way to see that our number is correct is our direct material, our direct labor, and our manufacturing overhead need to total our 213. Now they gave us the 213, so we knew that was correct, but this is just a way to go back and make sure our numbers fit. So from here on out, it's easy. I shouldn't say that, but it's easier to come up with our total work in process. We're going to add our 213 plus our work in process at the end of the month, the previous month. And then to figure out what's still work in process at the end of the period, we're going to take what our total cost of work in process minus what got put over into finished goods or cost of goods manufactured. So we then know that our work in process at the end of the period would be 9,000. Now the only thing that makes this problem just a little trickier is that you have to use a little bit of algebra because you've got two accounts that you need to answer for, but you understand the relationship between those accounts. So you just need to use an algebraic equation there to figure that out. So there you go for exercise 2-4.